And we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It's currently 8 a.m. like normal. The temperature outside is currently 38 degrees, and we have a high of 61 today. So, light jacket weather for today. It was a little soggy this morning, not raining, but just that aftermath of that rain that we had last night. So, again, light jacket weather, maybe some type of Gore-Tex material, something kind of windbreaker-y. Yeah, waterproof. But yeah, it should warm up pretty decently today. And like I said, tomorrow's looking like it's going to be real nice with the starting off at like 44 with a high of like 70. So looking forward to Saturday. It's going to be nice. Now, with that being said, traffic conditions going into Tulsa, for whatever reason, Friday, it's fair. Like it wasn't like when I drove in this morning, 7:30 or 7:20ish. No real traffic concerns there then either, and that's usually when it's at standstill from Monday to Thursday. So again, I don't know what's going on. Friday must be no longer a work day because traffic is just non-existent right now. So that being said, local events in the Owasso area, nothing going on. Your weekend is free unless there's some type of church event going on that hasn't been posted or isn't being readily talked about through the Chamber of Commerce nor Owassoisms. So enjoy your weekend as best as you can. Like I said, it's going to be a free one for you unless you got kids' sporting games and all that stuff going on. So just enjoy your weekend. It's just going to be good weather for it.
Well, there is I'm not sure when this is, but I said, March 3rd, there's the Wheels and Thrills skate event, sensory skate event.
Wheels and Thrills, March 3rd.
That's Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, today's the 1st, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah,
it should be Sunday. So.
Yeah.
That's at 10:30 to 12:30, and like I said, that's the one I was talking about that kept popping up in a while.
So an afternoon skate thing. Okay, cool. Yeah,
kind of more morning to afternoon, but yes.
So Wheels and Thrills, go check it out, folks. It could be a good time for you. Now, with that being said, what we've got going on in more national news, so kind of national and local, is Hunter Biden's testimony about his dealings with Chinese companies. Basically, there was an email, like, if anybody remembers back in the day when Giuliani got a hold of that laptop from that New York computer repair shop where Hunter Biden left it there for like 3 years, and the guy gave it to Giuliani, and they found all kinds of incriminating emails on there that basically prove that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden are crooked, that the testimony that was specifically given this time was he had business dealings in China, and he was using his dad as political leverage to get deals brokered. And like I said, he goes, make sure the big guy, and like I said, confirmed the big guy is Joe Biden in the dealings that he had in the chats between him and the Chinese business operation. He goes, make sure you get 10% to the big guy. Big guy confirmed to be Joe Biden. So Joe Biden is absolutely 100% corrupted by Chinese officials, or at least Chinese business. I mean, I'm sure they have loopholes to where it's like, well, it's not China, it's just Chinese businesses. But remember, all businesses in China have to be approved by the government. So it's all government approved. I mean, people are like, oh, China's communist socialist. It's like, it's kind of fascist too, because it's state control over the businesses. Or like I said, the state goes, hey, the businesses are good to run in our country. So
even with those, like what was going on with the farms, the weed growing farms here in Oklahoma that are all Chinese owned and operated, those have been approved by China. All those businesses have been approved by the Chinese government or the Communist Party.
Right. So again, confirmed, Joe Biden is the big guy he was referring to in the emails. Now, this isn't the first one. Like, China is just the first one. Again, this is another reason why, I'm a big believer we shouldn't be involved in the Ukrainian conflict, because Ukraine was already corrupt before this. There were news articles all about how corrupt Ukraine was before the war broke out. And now Ukraine is the most wonderful country in the world. Hunter Biden was on the board of Burisma. Now, I said Hunter Biden didn't go to college or for oil. I mean, he got kicked out of the Navy, for God's sakes. for drug use. So Hunter Biden was nepotismly, or how you say, he was due to nepotism.
He's promoted upwards via,
So he was appointed to this board because of his connections to his dad.
Because that's nepotism.
The country DA, the district attorney for the country of Ukraine, was investigating this oil company, Burisma. And he was like, hey, there's a lot of books cooking. There's a lot of corruption going on in this organization. So he started investigating it. And then Joe Biden went to, and this is on film, Cameron. You can actually look this video up where Joe Biden was like, if you don't fire the DA of this country, he talked to, I'm assuming it could have been Zelensky at the time, but he goes, if you don't fire the DA who's investigating Burisma, you're not going to get the millions in aid money that the U.S. is going to send you. And he goes, I guarantee it. And he goes, and literally, verbatim, this is what he said. He goes, and son of a blank. The next day he was fired. So Joe Biden used his political power to get a DA who was investigating an oil company that was doing shady business deals in Ukraine that Hunter Biden was appointed to the board of and given us a ridiculous salary to sit on the board of for having no expertise. So that's corruption, folks. That's what it looks like. If the Trump family had been involved in this, people would have been, and I hate having to use that connection, but like I said, the media is just very silent about this. And everyone's like, well, it's being reported on now. It's like, why wasn't it reported on then? Why weren't people already talking about it then? People already said that if they had known about the connections and stuff with Joe Biden and his son, that they wouldn't have voted for him in 2016, which would have, not 2020.
2020.
That it would have changed the outcome of that election, but the media covered it up.
It's, for some weird reason, the Hunter Biden laptop and this Burisma scandal and this, business with China scandal got the Epstein treatment back when it was, the Epstein story was supposed to break back.
When the iron's hot, they don't report on it. And then whenever it's old news and all the conservative media is like, we've been talking about this for months now or years, and this is the first time you guys are touching that. It goes, that's because we can confirm it. It's like, no, it's not because you could confirm it. It's because you didn't want to strike while the iron's hot so your political party could win. So this is why the media is a very dangerous organization. They can choose what subject to cover or what not to cover. And sometimes what not to cover changes the outcome, like I said, which it definitely changed the outcome of the 2020 election. So this is just another case of conservatives saying, I told you so. But like I said, we know. Andrew Breitbart talked about this before he passed away. They were going to give Anthony Weiner a pass for texting underage girls until Andrew Breitbart went up on stage and was like, hey, the media was about to let him come out and give a press conference and be like, oh, all is forgiven. And Andrew Breitbart just walked up on stage and started talking about the corruption of it all and the cover-ups that were going on. And the media just sat there in silence like, what do we do? He literally stole the stage from Anthony Weiner. So think about that, folks. The media has the power to cover things up, and that's the most important thing. The Epstein cover-up is proof of this. The Joe Biden cover-up that you're reading now is proof of this. What else have they done this on that you haven't heard about? So, with that being said, we already knew all this stuff, but now
it's just been confirmed.
The liberal media's confirmed it, and now they're talking about it.
Correct.
So, regardless of what you think, conservatives were right all along. So with that being said, this is not the only corruption story, and we've been meaning to talk about this one for a while, but we've run so long of late on all of our videos that I don't want to hold you hostage for more than 30 minutes. So let me put it this way. I've been following a guy on YouTube called Actual Justice Warrior for a very long time. He puts out great work. He puts out really fantastic stuff, but
usually in the criminal justice areas.
Sometimes political, like with this one. So he's been following who we call the super mayor, Tiffany A. Henyard. She is the mayor of the Dalton Township in Illinois. So she is the most corrupt mayor
of our time.
Probably in history of the United States. So, oh man, I forgot to bring up that paper that had all my stuff written down on.
Is this it right here?
No, that is not it. Okay. It's downstairs at my desk. That's not going to help me. But basically, what Tiffany A. Henyard has done is she... what's the best way to say it? I don't even know where to start. She's done so much. So, basically, she started a charity. And the charity, what a clever name, is called Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. And it's a breast cancer foundation, right? So that's just it's
cancer treatment foundation.
Yeah, so this woman's full of herself. Like I said, her charity, like which she lied to the media about, saying she didn't have any involvement in. It's like, so you're saying you didn't have any involvement, and her names are all on the creations of these foundations, but she lied to the media about. She's like, oh no, they use my name to profit because I'm such a popular mayor. And it turns out she's been using taxpayer money to fund this charity. Her charity. The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation.
So that's one.
That's a narcissist right there. So she uses taxpayer funds to... So during a heat wave, she used taxpayer money to give free water out to her voters. And she's been paying the police to be her bodyguards, and they've charged like 370 hours
of overtime.
There aren't 370 hours in a week, folks. But that's the thing. Like, that's how much corruption. Like, that means a police officer got paid around $14,000 in one paycheck for a week of work that he put in overtime that it's not possible. So, before she appointed these new sheriffs and stuff that are her basically her goon squad, the original sheriff said that he wasn't going to do a lot of the stuff she was asking him to do, so she had him fired. And she replaced him with her goons that are
loyal to her.
So, moving on with this corruption within the police force now. So, she uses all these police officers and sheriffs as her personal bodyguards, so they're with her all the time, so they're getting paid crap tons of overtime, impossible amounts of overtime every paycheck.
She's got like a platoon level of security.
She does.
Ridiculous.
And they help her go out and deliver water and, on taxpayer dimes. Now, what she's also done, and what the basically why this whole police force needs to be reprimanded and fired and maybe even thrown in jail. I mean, Tiffany Henyard should be in jail. Is businesses who don't support her, she's revoked their town's business license. They're certified business license through the state. Like the state of Illinois, they have their business licenses approved through the state, but she won't allow them to get business licenses through the township. So they're still operating because they have the state license, but what she does is during rush hour, she sends in her police officers, her sheriffs, to shut down their businesses during rush hour so they can't make money. Like, this woman is using Hitler tactics. Like, I mean, brown shirt stormtroopers going in and shutting down businesses during their prime time rush hour out times. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. So she's got a corrupt police department who are charging ridiculous hours, and they're strong-arming local businesses who don't support her and won't donate to her campaign. So that's another one right there. And then another thing she has the goal to do is, we'll stick with the police theme right now, is the police cars that they use are about to be repossessed because the city or the town, she's not allocating funds to pay off the loans on these police cars that the town has purchased. So these cars, these police vehicles,
7 police cruisers
are about to be repoed. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's a good thing because this strong arm thug police force won't be able to go out and hamstring local businesses and strong arm them out of business. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be rolling around in their personal vehicles pretending to be police officers. They're already pretending to be police officers now and sheriffs, but they're going to be rolling around in personal vehicles and they won't have any idea. So if they decide to pull somebody over for a stop, it's going to be like, there's just this random car following me. I'm not going to stop for them. I guess they'll just get those little lights to put on their car like they're a detective or something. I mean, that's about the only thing. But how are they going to afford it? I mean, I guess they can afford it out of their personal paycheck since they're getting $13,000 a paycheck.
Yeah.
So, like, if you make $2,000 a week, that's million. You'll be a millionaire within that year. Like, think of that. That's on a police officer's salary, making $13,000 a week. Holy Lord. These guys are going to be the most wealthy police officers in history. But like I said, the gig cannot keep up. I mean, the FBI is investigating this woman now. So she's also used this town money to fly first class. She spent $4,000 on a round trip to Vegas and back, and that's just for the plane tickets.
Yep.
And I'm rounding up, of course, so I don't have to give
first
exact
luxury.
And then, yeah, 5-star hotels in Vegas.
Steak dinners every night, all sorts of stuff.
All crazy. And you have to look at the interviews with this woman. She is a total narcissist, a total nut job. And then every time they call her out, and she's mad, and she's blaming because the people on her council and the people on her within the township are talking about where's this money going. Like, there's $3 million missing, right?
$7 million.
$7 million are missing out of the town's funds.
$7 million is missing.
So this woman's embezzling that kind of money. And now she's blaming her the people who are on the board and the people who are other elected officials in the town. She's blaming them for reaching out and talking about the corruption. Like, it's so obvious how corrupt she is, but she's using the race card. She's like, y'all are black. Y'all should be on my side. We on the same team. It's like,
yeah,
you're a criminal. We're not. It has nothing to do with race.
I think they said it's 70 to 80% population of African Americans.
So yeah, it's 80% black population.
And then the council, the city council or whatever, the township. No, there's only 2 members that are not African American from what I've seen. And
yes, and she's yelling at them saying, "Yo, I can't believe y'all betraying me like this." Like, $7 million is missing. I don't imagine everybody who's been an elected official and on the board of this town is getting that kind of money. Now the FBI is investigating her, and she started a podcast. The level of narcissism with this, she's like, my name is money making. You know, I guess she better make as much money as she can because she's going to need it in legal fees.
Then, not to mention, she had hired 2 hitmen to go try to threaten or possibly
rival.
Person on the township. It was just a person on the township that was like asking questions about her. And there's video footage of it. I'll try to find it and link it. Like I said, it's literally you just hear stuff and then you see the car drive by and a doorbell ring footage or whatever it's called.
And there's one more thing that she's done, and there's some position she's appointed herself to on the Dalton Township board, and she pays herself $250K a year for this job. But in the writing, if she loses this position, the salary drops to $25K a year. So she, being the mayor and this co-position on this board, running this particular job, whatever it is, I can't remember the exact title of it, is a $250K, so $250,000 a year position on top of her mayor job. Mm-hmm. But if somebody runs against her and she loses that job, the job that's not the mayor, but the position on this Dalton Township board drops to $25K, so $25,000.
She basically has made it to where the job is not desirable for anyone. If anyone runs against her, like, oh, I'm only going to be making that. I said, I can't afford that.
Yeah. What would be the point of running and trying to get that position? It's like, oh, $250,000 a year? Sign me up. Oh, but it's only for Tiffany. So the FBI is currently investigating her. I don't know how much longer she has. I mean, hopefully her entire police force and anybody who's affiliated with her. But like I said, she got 70% of the vote in the town, too, when she ran. So
yeah, not to mention that they found out that she has a criminal record, that she was caught in Chicago for breaking into vehicles. That's right. That's right. So, I don't know. It's wild. I don't know how this lady got elected in the first place, but
yeah. So
there's so much going on here that it's hard to keep track of all the corruption that's going on in this township.
Yeah, she's clearly not a smart lady, and the level of corruption and what she thought she could get away with. The chickens are finally coming home to roost, and hopefully all that money she embezzled hasn't been spent. Hopefully they can get it back and pull it out of whatever. I mean, I'm betting she probably used a vast majority of it, but you know, I'm hoping that the town can get some of the money back and they can get this situation sorted out, and hopefully she faces some major prison time along with the police officer she appointed to do her
bidding.
Yeah. So
let's just go through like the list again right now. So misusing like taxpayer funds on her own personal
trip and travel.
Like, now, granted, some of the stuff was for business, but but she upgraded to the like most expensive stuff, hotels, which, like I said, it's written into most of these things. You're supposed to.
There's government rates.
There's government
being
rates.
in the Army, there are government rate hotels. There are government rate.
And if you want to upgrade, it comes out of your own personal funds. Well, she didn't do that, so it's all been town funds. So that's just the lowest. And then bringing money into her own. What's it called? Her own charity.
Yeah, her charity, the Tiffany Henyard Foundation. So she's using taxpayer money to fund her charity.
And then not paying the police cars that they had purchased for the town. And that's $7 million missing.
Firing the old sheriff.
Yeah, firing all the
sheriffs.
people on the council that are against her or like have questions for her. Like, even one of them was just like, I need to see the receipts and stuff like that. And they're like, nope, can't see that stuff.
Nope. And then you also have, so after the appointing of the new police officers, she used those same police officers to strong arm and shut down local businesses who didn't support her campaigns.
Correct. That's
using taxpayer funds to run her campaign so she could deliver water and goodies to her voters in the town.
More misuse and allocating funds to police officers that, she basically has on her side is another one. I mean, my goodness, like I said, trying to lay out a hit, or at least, even if you don't want to argue it was a hit, a scare tactics. I mean, she literally shot the other town council person's car. Both of them had bullet holes in them. So she wasn't there at the time, but you could argue, like I said, it's a scare tactic regardless, and right either way, like I said, it's wrong.
Right. So that's what you get when you elect unqualified people to do jobs. Like, I mean, you got to do better background checks. I mean, people don't change typically, I mean, I'm not saying that people never change, but it's rare. I mean, she was a criminal when she was younger. She's going to be a criminal now. And that's what you're seeing right now. I mean, we have the proof. And we gave you a teal deer version of this. If you want to get some, if you want to see it, and it's entertainment too. I know it sounds like, oh, this sounds boring. No, the videos that Actual Justice Warrior put together are fantastic. They're entertaining.
In the YouTube video.
Yeah. So we'll give him a shout out and go check out his stuff. He puts out some good work. And he always calls out the nonsense, when people use the race card when it shouldn't apply, and he calls out just nonsense in the justice system. So fantastic YouTuber, definitely go check him out. And we gave you the synopsis and summary of what she's been doing. There's far better videos, and like I said, do the research yourself. I mean, this woman is as corrupt as they come. She's as corrupt as Joe Biden and his family. So
yeah,
that's why.
That's kind of what this episode is government corruption.
Government corruption, baby. But yeah, that's about all we've got for you. It's funny. Like, I mean, a lot of the stuff going on. It's the level of corruption and how crazy it's getting is absolutely nuts. And to us, it's sad. It's very sad, but it's also funny how a lot of people think they can get away with it. I mean, currently Joe Biden still looks like he's going to be getting away with it. But Tiffany Henyard, maybe not so much. She's not as politically connected as Joe. So hopefully she goes down and does some major jail time for this.
Absolutely.
So that's about all we've got for you today, folks. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you.